Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of I Cast Fireball, an actual play 5e D&D adventure where we go through the campaign Skull and Shackles. I am Thomas, your GM for this adventure, and around the table we have
Lieutenant Ignis Halcón,
Maximus Shans,
Ataraxia Kalian,
and Buster Bilgewater.
Last we left our four adventurers, they had talked to Rickety Hake on how they can increase in infamy. How can they become better pirates of the free captains, or rather just free captains in general, as there are a few steps that need to happen before they can actually be considered a free captain. But in that conversation, a legend of the island of treasure on this island from long, long ago intrigued all of our adventurers here, and they began their journey further into the Isle. Now, as they were traveling, Max, with his ranger abilities, with his skill as a monster slayer, was able to pick up on a possible danger in front of them. And as they watched further in this very ominous cliffside before them, two ogres stepped out and revealed themselves, not seeming to know the party's current location. And that is where we join our adventurers on this week's episode of I Cast Fireball. So, everyone, you have the ogres before you. There are two that you see near these skull faces that are carved into the rock side. They do not appear to have seen you. How long that may be, you're not sure if they're heading directly towards you or what will happen there, but currently they do not appear to have noticed you.
Captain, with your permission, I'm ready to rumble.
how far can that thing shoot?
It can go a while.
Let's invite them over to our side of the ravine.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Captain. I was mostly looking at these two pits on either side of our ravine, right to the sides of us.
Do you think I could get an angle for a gust of wind?
I think that sounds like a great idea.
How deep are... Sorry, I guess I'm looking at the map. Are those actual, they're pits on either side of that the narrow strip of land, right?
That narrow strip of land is... it's
narrow.
huge. It goes all the way down.
Okay.
Thomas, how do we have... they haven't noticed us. Do we have cover on our side, really, where one of us, like Max, could come out, start firing, but the rest can stay hidden for a little bit?
Yeah, as I mentioned previously, the four of you are probably more around the corner, as it has a tiny bit of corner, so you don't have a ton of cover, but you are able to push yourself to the side of the mountain where you currently are at, to where you could minimize the possibility of them seeing you, and that's where you currently are at. So it's not perfect cover. It's not enough to where if they start walking towards your direction, they're going to be able to see you eventually. But sure, you could move out and reveal yourself. Whether or not they'll be able to see the other people, they probably would see the rest of your party still.
How high up are those ledges to our left and right?
Yeah, so those ledges to your top and right, left and right, they are about 40 feet.
It's a little high to jump.
A pretty good jumper.
I'm a pretty good jumper too, but I don't think I can quite make that.
There are holds that, this is a rocky face, so you could possibly climb it with some good athletic checks.
I can jump 10 feet as a bonus action, and then I have a 30-foot movement speed. But that's probably halved for climbing, right?
I think it is, yeah, unless you are adept.
So, no, but if I jumped 10 feet, grabbed the wall, and then dashed, I could get to the top.
Here's what I'm thinking with these ogres. They're going to be effective in melee. We have quite a few ranged options at our disposal. I think we have Max just shoot one of them and be like, hey, there's stuff over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a great... I think that's the move. And then try and push them off the ledges if we can, or just pelt them with stuff on their way over.
Aye.
Not the most exciting combat for a podcast, but this is an adventure that we're having.
You don't know what I have up my sleeve.
I'm just
With us not being visible to them, Thomas, can Max fire off a surprise shot?
Absolutely.
Let's go. Let's do it. Let's jump in. I'm ready.
How far away are they?
15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95 feet.
All right. Max just looks at the captain. Huh?
Fire away.
Okay. This will go before anything else happens in initiative here, but let's have everybody roll initiative so we can get that all lined up.
Okay. Initiative!
Shots fired.
Yeah.
There it is. Call back.
Before he shoots, were you guys wanting to get up on top of that ridge? Either of you guys? Okay.
Nah, let's just... it's too early for shenanigans. I just don't see a good angle for me to, like, blow them off of the ledge. But I don't need to do that. I think we can just... I've got fireball.
We can if we get up.
things.
Like, Ignis can get up close and personal because she'll want to, and so...
Let's jump in. Ignis, what did you roll for initiative?
13.
13. Ataraxia.
3.
3. Max.
14.
14. And Buster.
12.
12. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Max, you are the first to go as you are firing this off. You get advantage, so go ahead and roll, sir. Are you
With
firing
advantage?
at the one that has, with advantage, that has the leg, or the one that is looking on the leg longingly, wishing that they were eating it?
Longingly, how dare you? Greed is a sin. Okay.
Very good. Okay.
I'm just joking. But seriously, no.
Roll with
With
advantage.
advantage, okay. Woo! That is 18 to hit.
18. That is a hit, sir.
Bam.
Roll your damage.
All right, sneak attack damage. Darn. No, I'm joking. All right, damage. Here we go. That is 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay, 6 damage.
Actually, you know what? Forgot. I have abilities.
You do.
Sorry, I'm just double checking. As a bonus action, I didn't do that before, so that won't count. No, I'm just gonna do a straight fire for that one.
Okay. 6 to the ogre. Got it. Okay. 6 goes right into him. It kind of like impales his leg and he goes. This is the grunting that you hear, that you've heard obviously before, loud and echoing through the canyon here, through this small pocket of space that is between you and these ogres. And they look over at you as you are wielding your massive crossbow, and it sees the 4 of you, and it yells and points at you and just yells gutturally. These are dumb creatures, really. So Ignis, it's your turn, actually.
Well, I thought surprise round, and then I go first.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah. So after that first attack, as it would have it, it is that ogre that you shot. It's his first turn. He's actually first in initiative, and so then afterwards, you'll be going after him. So he looks at you, not happy. He's going to just start running as fast as he can. He has 80 feet of movement that he can move, so he is going to almost get
He's
there.
almost there.
Gonna use a dash.
Because that's his action.
He's dashing.
And his
He's dashing.
40
He'd have to be like a centaur ogre to have a regular, like 80 feet movement.
Centaur ogre.
It's got like a rhino on the lower half.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
that's Ned. That's kind of
That's
cool, though.
cool.
That's like
Actually, I like that.
That's kind of
Don't make that creature. That's incredible.
He just gets to the middle of the bridge. Again, that bridge is, I said it was 10 feet wide before it just falls into darkness and falls into nothing below. But the actual, the shortness of the bridge is probably only about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's probably only about 35 feet in length where it is this narrow. And he spends his action and his movement just to get there. So his turn is over as a result. And Max, it is your go.
Okay, Max is going to walk out about 10 feet to kind of the very beginning of the bridge. And he's just going to hold his crossbow up, and he's going to be very Heath Ledger, Dark Knight, and go, "Come on, hit me!" And he'll shoot his crossbow at him.
Okay, sounds
Ooh,
good.
baby.
Any abilities you want to use first?
Yeah, as a bonus action, before I go, I am going to choose a creature within 60 feet. And if I hit him with a weapon, I get an extra D6.
Nice. All right. Well, it is happening. Your bonus action, that is your class ability you're activating. Go ahead and roll for an attack, sir.
That is going to be 13 to hit.
13 is a hit.
Oh, good. Is that...
But a terrifying, hit me, as Max is yelling with a grin on his face.
Mm-hmm. And a D6.
After Max, it's going to be Ignis and then Buster.
That is 10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. Good, sir. Well done. Okay. Anything else movement-wise? You moving back, or are you just staying where you are?
Staying right there. I told him to hit me.
All right.
That's what I'm
All right,
sticking with.
Ignis, it is now your go.
Ignis will charge forward right up next to Max. And as she's running, she will pull out her longbow that she brought on this adventure because she thought she might need it, because sometimes you need some ranged weapons. And she just shouts out, "Try this on, ugly!" And she'll shoot him.
All right. Go ahead and roll.
Try this on. It's funny because you can't actually wear it.
Ignis has a longbow. She doesn't normally use a longbow. And so that shot just full on misses so poorly. I rolled a natural one.
Okay.
Shoots Max.
I see that happen, and in response I go, comedy! And I'm going to record this in my epic poem.
Yeah.
Her bowstring just snaps.
No good.
It's no
That's
good.
good. Use your reaction for that, right, Ataraxia?
Yep.
So on a
Nice.
natural one, you shoot Max, and I've been surprised.
I have been surprised. I was surprised.
Okay,
surprised.
and that was your action. That was your movement. Anything with your bonus, Ignis?
No, not this round.
All right, sounds good. We go to Buster.
All right, Buster puts both his hands. He's got his staff in one hand, but he takes his his casting hand. So he's got his staff in offhand, casting hands open, and he's gonna make a fist and strike it along his staff hand, like he's striking a match. And then he says, "Smote in flame, this mote I reign," and he fires firebolt at this guy in
Joshua.
Nice. That is good.
critical fail. But I'm going to go ahead and no, they probably have a decent AC. I'm gonna let it be a crit fail because I could make it something else, but no, it only makes sense that it's a crit fail. That's
Man.
And I
Such a shame.
already used my reaction, so I'm still writing down
He didn't even see it.
Ignis's miss.
Ataraxia
I kind
didn't
of
even
imagine
see it happen.
Ataraxia holding up his finger, being like, "Hold on, I'll get to you." Next time. Oh man, bummer, Buster. Okay, you got a bonus action and a movement. Anything there?
yeah. I'll move up behind my two crewmates.
10. Okay, right behind Max then, or let's put you behind Ignis, if that's all right. Okay.
Shoot. I gotta work on my aim.
All right, sounds good. With that in mind, the one who was biting off a piece of leg, he's just sort of standing there, dumbfounded, looking at his other friend, and kind of raises both his arms, in a shrug, going almost what's going on? But on top of the skulls,
Here we go.
Here we go.
you do see lumbering towards the edge of the skull faces here, 2 more ogres, and they look at you and they bellow and roar in your direction. A little bit further away from the ogre biting the leg, but there appears to be 4 ogres here in this encounter. So one of them is going to take a javelin that he has, a large javelin, and he's going to just chuck it at the closest person to him, and that's Max, because you have the shiniest scales that are glittering in the light, and so he's like, "Oh, easy target." It is going to be with disadvantage, though, due to the distance. It's has a range of 120 feet, so let's see how it goes. Well, that is going to be a 10 to hit.
That misses.
All right, well, that javelin just thunk right in the ground 5 feet from where you currently are, and it is big. It is very large. but it is a miss, unfortunately. So that is, they use their movement to stand up, get to the edge, and that is their whole movement and then action. The other one is also going to try to hit you, Max, with disadvantage with their javelin. Does a 11 hit?
Miss.
All right, so that javelin goes into the ravine below and clatters against the side of the rock as you see it just disappear into the darkness below. That is both of their turns, and we are to Ataraxia now.
Okay. Well, I was really hoping that second ogre would get up next to his friend for this, but you live with the cards you've been dealt. I'm going to cast Fairy Fire on this ogre who's right in front of us.
Boom, right there I see. Yep.
Should have waited.
All right, and that is a what do you call it? Saving throw? Yeah.
Yep, dexterity saving throw. That's going to be DC 14.
Well, he got an 8.
Nice.
So, Fairy Fire it is.
Yep, so that's concentration up to a minute. Attacks against this guy are going to have advantage.
I'm putting a lot of modifiers on them so we know that they are with advantage there. Okay. All right, that is your action, I believe, Ataraxia.
Yep, bonus action. I hear Buster talking about, he's feeling all bad about missing with his spell, and I'm like, don't worry, man, you've got it, and I'm going to give you Bardic Inspiration.
Let's go.
Yeah. I see you pat the air, Ned. Did you want to move up close to him or keep the distance?
I'm going to roll to see if I'm going to close in or keep the distance. I'm going to close in.
All right, you all four are standing side by side almost, holding your ground against these ogres.
Really hoping they don't have AoE spells.
It's okay, you've got a divination wizard.
So you've got advantage, not advantage, you've got inspiration, Buster. Ataraxia, I believe that's it, yeah?
Yep, action, bonus action, movement.
And now this other ogre with the leg finally realizes what's going on, and he is going to run his full distance, and he is going to run directly behind his buddy on the narrow strip of bridge leading up to you. Not able to get any further, mind you, so just the one that's taken damage is still closest to you, and that is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 currently, but that's going to be their turn. And I say currently because it is now this ogre's turn. He is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20 up to you, and he is going to take his great club, and he is going to smash down on... I'm going to roll a dice to see who he smashes on.
I mean, I yelled at him.
Yeah, it's definitely you, Max. I rolled a die, and he's going for you. Does a 22 hit?
Yes.
All right, 22 hits. 14 points of bludgeoning damage.
Might want to silvery barbs that one, actually.
Is that you calling it out?
I mean, I could do it.
Yeah, I've got 1 free silvery barbs per day, so I might as well, because that's a pretty gnarly hit.
Okay, so that's another D20 I have to roll, right?
Yep, disadvantage on this attack.
Okay. Natural 1.
That misses.
Okay,
That will miss.
thank goodness.
Woo.
So as he goes, it's about to smash Max, but you silvery barbs. Like, what does it describe to us, Ataraxia?
I have my quill in my hand that I'm using to write down about the lieutenant's just absolutely gut-busting snapping of the bowstring. And seeing this ogre coming in so, like, hot and fast, I pull that quill back, and I just whip it right at his eye. And, yeah, and I use the magic of the silvery barb to propel it forward, and I go, all right, gotta pull out my other quill, and then I pull another quill out of my satchel.
And at the last moment, as he's about to hit you, Max, he grabs his eye, and the great club goes wide and smashes right into the ground, and you feel the ground just shake under you, grinning as this foe is before you. It is your turn, Max.
Max will... How long have we traveled? How many days? Because it's 3 days to get there.
This is the first day.
Okay, then I'm gonna...
Day 1.
Well, I should probably say that I'm giving the advantage from silvery barbs to Max.
Ah, there we go.
So I get advantage on the next attack?
You get, on your attack, you get advantage, yes.
Okay. Bonus action, Slayer's Prey, choosing the creature. And I get advantage on this, so boop. That is a 19 to hit.
19 is a hit, sir. Yes.
Alrighty. And then I'm going to also use Favored Foe. When you hit a creature with an attack roll, you mark them as a Favored Foe for a minute, and I get to add a D4.
Nice. Very good. And we should note, to just remind everybody, since he has taken Crossbow Expert, he does not get disadvantage, even though they're right in front of them. So
Thank goodness.
Thank heavens. So I believe that's 2d6 and a d4 you're rolling for damage, yes?
It's a D10, a D6,
Ooh.
and a D4, because a heavy crossbow gets a D10.
Dang. All right. What was the damage total?
13.
13. Whew. Goodness me. Yeah, that was a good hit against this ogre, as it just pokes and like penetrates through its side. It goes directly through the front and out the back, and so there's like a little like hole in his side of like blubber and fat as it just sails past him. The momentum of the bolt going past. That's your action, I believe. You used the bonus action as well. Did you want to do any movement here?
No, I'm just going to stand my ground. And what was I reading? Yeah, so I have Favored Foe on him, but I can lose concentration on it. So it's kind of like a spell without a spell.
Okay, sounds good. We'll jump over to Ignis then, next in the initiative order. Ignis, it's your go.
While Max is using his crossbow to distract this ogre in front of us, can Ignis use her hemp rope to try and tie something up around his ankle? Just like a quick sailor's knot, since we've been on a ship. She knows how to do knots quickly now.
You're going to AT this guy?
Absolutely.
AT this guy.
Let's go.
I don't know what that would, a dexterity roll, an acrobatics.
Would it be sleight of hand?
Give me 1 minute, because I actually came across a section in Xanathar's Guide to Everything called Tying Knots. I'm going to make sure I actually like the rule before I say we have to follow through with it, though. The rules are purposely open-ended concerning mundane tasks like tying knots. Oh, cool. So this one, the optional rule is you make a sleight of hand check, and it is opposed the other person's sleight of hand or acrobatics check. So it intentionally links sleight of hand with intelligence rather than dexterity, though. It's an intelligence-based sleight of hand check.
Yeah, it's intelligence low, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that, but it's also for you an intelligence sleight of hand check. So instead of using your dexterity, it'd be using your intelligence, which we determined and found out you are very intelligent. So why don't you go and do that? An intelligence-based sleight of hand check, then, please.
It's a 19.
19.
Nice.
Let me try and do.
Just adding my sleight of hand, but using my intelligence instead of my dexterity.
Correct.
So it's just adding my intelligence.
Yes. If you had happened to be proficient, you would have added that as well. So.
Sure, yeah. Not proficient, but it's a 19.
Ooh, they rolled a 13 on the die, -3 to their intelligence, so that is a 10, miss. So as you quickly tie, very quick, you are throwing it basically around his legs and just quickly tying on your hands, like on your knee as you take the knee, as this attack is happening by Max, and you tighten it and just pull to make sure it's fully tight. It is around their leg. Is that where you wanted it there, yeah?
Yeah, around his leg, yeah, for sure.
Around his leg, perfectly. That is your action, miss.
Since she is kneeling on the ground and Max is taller than her, as soon as that arrow impacts his side, I believe is where you shot him, and he roars out in pain, she uses that as a cover to use her celestial revelation and let her wings expand from her back as they flap out. With a powerful gust downward, she flies 30 feet into the air and then goes into the pit, up and over, and trying to use her weight to pull on the ogre to get them off the trail.
Okay, sounds good. What is your strength score, miss?
10.
10, okay. Strength score is 10. What's your dexterity score? Your dexterity score, we've talked about this, yes. Your dexterity score is
My dexterity score is 16.
16, yes. Okay.
Are the ogres medium or large?
They are large creatures. They are considered large giant.
Oh yeah, gosh, looking at
Their creature type.
the token, I should have realized.
So with your 16, we will say that they have to, if you want to do a to fly around and sort of like yank him off with like how the rope is going. We will have him roll we'll have him roll a athletics check, which is just a strength check for him to try to hold on versus your dexterity check currently, because you're zipping back and forth, you're flying, and you're catching it like with such speed that it's going to catch him off guard. So against your 16 dex score. And so that's what you want to do with your movement, yeah?
Yeah. That's movement, action. Action was a tie. Bonus action to reveal our wings, and then the movement to...
And now movement is you're going to use your full movement to essentially tighten the rope to try and like get him out from and fall into the pit, right?
And fall into the pit using your weight to try and pull him.
All right, here we go. Strength check. That is a 17.
Boo.
Or is it a 6?
Or is
the divination wizard!
Maybe Buster just kind of slid his staff in there and added a little extra pivoting force between his legs.
Okay, so as he like starts, what? You're changing the die face, yes?
Oh, you know what? I gotta call that beforehand. I apologize. I can't do that.
Unless you've got a cool DM.
I'm supposed to do it. I'm supposed to do it before it's called. So that's.
Well, this time we will let you do it after it's called. So we'll let you do it right now, and we'll have that understanding moving forward. So what you're changing the die face, right?
Yeah. So I can see. I have a this morning as I woke up, I could see that I needed to help Ignis with something to do with leverage, and just as she's getting ready to pull, it cues the memory in my brain, and I know I've got to just give a little help to make sure that this guy doesn't succeed on being stable.
I love that. I love that description. So what number are you giving me to use instead?
Okay, he's strength, right?
Yeah, strength.
And you rolled a 19?
The total was a 17.
Well, she rolled a.
I did not roll. My dexterity is just 16.
So yeah, it was a
He was
saving
just
throw
using
for
my
them.
score.
So if he's got, he'd have to have a strength mod of 10 if I give him a 6, right?
That's correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm gonna give him the 6.
All right, so as you give him the 6, it changes the result to a 10, failing it, and as a result, as you just kind of like, poof, use your staff and like trip his feet, and it's hard because he's very heavy, but he's already being moved, so you just literally use the momentum of Ignis, and you tip him over, and he goes, and he falls over the right side into the darkness below, still attached to the string with Ignis is currently holding, but he does fall down into the pit. Down, down, down. Not able to catch himself, falling below. That is Ignis's turn.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my kalimba out and I'm just playing the pit. I fell in the pit.
Goodbye, my favorite foe.
We all fell into
Guess I get to pick a new favorite foe.
All right.
Sorry.
He was my favorite foe. Haha. Here's my favorite. All right, Mickey, correct me if I'm wrong. Do your wings end at the end of your movement?
I have my wings for a minute.
Okay, 1 minute. Sounds good. Okay, cool. All right, so you're kind of like below in the pit, currently underneath just like the bridge area, right? Buster, it's your turn.
Okay. If I manage to move 40 feet, can I get myself angled to a degree at which I could gust of wind the other ogre off of the ledge?
So the other ogre is... he is on the other side of the bridge. So he's actually 40... He's actually... To get to him on the bridge, you'd have to go 40 feet just to get in front of him. So you'd have to go behind him, which would be...
Like 45 feet, right?
Like 55 feet to get behind him to then even just do the gust of wind.
Okay.
Maybe you could do a sidestep angle, and then like while he's coming toward us, then blow him on the other
I have
side.
to have it like ready the action.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a ready
Yeah, but
to
like
spell.
he might just come right for me. Like that's the thing is the
True.
I'd be out in front of you guys. So I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna firebolt them.
Firebolt. All right. With that same phrase and with the inspiration given from Ataraxia, go ahead and roll.
What's bardic?
You can roll a d6, I believe.
Yep, D6, add it to the result.
Okay, that is what is it? 12?
A 12? That hits.
Hey.
Yes. Oh,
There you
Armed.
go.
I rolled a
Very
4
armed.
on the D6, but it was an 8 before that. That's
Yeah.
Bardic
That
Inspiration,
is a
man.
hit.
All right, 1d10 fire damage.
Nice.
Max fire damage. That's 10.
You did? Oh, nice. Very good. As the fire just, with the inspiration, Ataraxia, his words have fueled you and and it just ignites on him, starts to burn away some of the little clothing that this ogre has scraped together. See, he's got a little bit of half of a tunic and a shirt from another, like a human. His pants are a little too tight and his boots are starting to burn off of his feet now with the massive of the firebolt that you did.
I just shout out, take that, you knee-knocking landlubber.
That's your action. You have a bonus action and a movement if you'd like, Buster.
Can I move? Is there nobody in front of me? Because she jumped up.
No. Max is diagonal to you, but nobody directly in front of you.
I think I'd like to move to the ledge right beside Max.
Okay, so you're gonna move on to the other side of Max,
Yeah.
right by the ravine, like the pit, basically.
I feel like that'll set me up better to try and gust him off if I need to.
Okay, and this is also moving closer to Ignis as she is flying in the pit area currently. So you have moved around Ataraxia. That's your movement. Any bonus action, Buster?
No, I'm good.
All right, sounds good. We're going to jump to the ogres now. These ogres threw their javelins way back there. They don't have any more javelins. They just had the one. And Buster, you're actually standing in the same space as the javelin. So, so you're like, okay, you just kind of move around it. So they have to jump down in order to try and get to you. I'm going to roll to see how stupid they are. And here's the first one. Negative is going to be real stupid. The other one's going to be real smart. This one is a neutral smart. So they are going to attempt an athletics for the first. And then the second is real smart. Okay, sounds good. No over stupidness here. So this one has to roll an athletics check to try and climb down quickly, but it's with disadvantage. Still pretty good, actually. That's a 17, and they're able to get down to the bottom of their skull. The other one is real smart in how they approach this, so they are going to roll once, but got a natural 1, and so they fall the 30 feet to the ground and take some damage here. 1, 2, 3. That's going to be a roll 3 4s for that damage. That's 12 points of damage to that ogre.
Wow. He really messed that up.
And he was the smart one,
yeah.
apparently. So
Man, I'm sitting here expecting them to have like these huge piles of javelins behind them on top of these skull rocks.
Just one.
no, just the one.
Oh my gosh.
If you look in the monster manual, the ogres, there's a section under the ogres that says that in bold, legendary stupidity.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Their skulls are as empty as the ones they were standing
There
on.
you go.
That's going to end the smart, quote unquote, smart ogre's turn. The other one does get to move a little bit closer. That's both of their turns, though. They are done. We now are to Ataraxia. You see the one ogre. You're behind Max. There is an ogre within 30 feet of where you currently are at. On the bridge, he's only taken that 10 damage from Buster. Max is in front of you. Buster's kitty corner. Ignis is flying to the northwest of you in the ravine area, and that ogre has fallen into the pit to be seen no more. What do you do?
I mean, he doesn't need fairy fire anymore, so I'm going to put it on the guy behind him.
Boom. So you cast Fairy Fire. That is a dex save that he has to roll.
DC 14.
He rolled a 14 on the die, -1 for a 13.
Oh boy, thank goodness.
So, yeah, these are not dexterous creatures. Again, putting all the modifiers in roll 20 for us to see. That's with advantage, sir. All right. That is your action. You have a bonus action and a movement.
Yeah, seeing that it was such a close call with the lieutenant trying to pull off this maneuver, I'm going to give the lieutenant some bardic inspiration this time.
Very good. What do you say, or what do you do?
Yo, that turned out super well. Next one's going to be even better.
Boom. Bardic inspiration for you. You only have one more after this, right?
Yep, one more after this.
Okay. All right, here we go. Ataraxia, any movement, or are you good?
I'm gonna hang out right where I am, yeah.
Right behind Max? Okay, sounds good. This other ogre now is lumbering towards you, surprisingly still holding the leg that he was eating, and this is, you see, unfortunately, is a human leg. As he just charging you, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, right to you, Max, and he actually goes to attack with the human leg before he realizes that that's not his weapon, so he throws it into the pit and he's going to smash with his great club against you.
And here it was Buster and I thinking we had to worry about our legs.
Okay. Now, I did roll, Josh, just for giving you the opportunity again. You said you have to call it out before I give the result or before we know it was 6.
Yeah, before you give the result of the dice roll. I'm not going to... this next one, I'm saving. I can't use it yet.
So this one is going to be a 19 to hit, Max.
That hits.
Can I silvery barbs, though?
You can silvery barbs, and I will re-roll that. That is a 2 on the dice to get an 8 total.
Nice.
Does not hit.
There we go.
I'll give the advantage to Max.
Okay. Now, I will remind you, this guy does have Fairy Fire already, so attacks already with advantage.
I'll give it to the winged.
No, give it to me. Give it to me.
The winged one.
To Ignis? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. So yeah, it goes to smash again. Max, you just grinning like Heath Ledger Joker, like the first time goes down as a result of, I guess, Buster, you describe how the silvery barbs works for you. How do you distract this ogre, or what happens here?
I say what do I distract him?
Well, just like the attack missed, right? So like what do you say when you do silvery barbs to get that effect?
Oh, I guess what is it? It's just verbal.
Yeah.
So grab the attention, and that's it. That's all I got,
Okay.
guys.
Grab the attention. And then the ogre kind of like looks up and goes, notices that he threw the leg and was like, ooh, and just bam, right into the ground, right next to Max on his other side. So he has 2 massive like indents in the ground on his left and on his right as the ogre's great club just smashed the ground next to him. It's starting to crack a little bit. Being close to the bridge, it might not be a good idea to have the ground be so cracked here. But that is going to be his turn. He moved, he did his action, doesn't have bonus actions. We're now to the top of the round. Ogre 2 is falling. Do you let go of the rope, Ignis?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. I figured you did. I just wanted to verify.
Just go down. Ah.
So we will just call...
Yeah, I've already taken it off my inventory list.
Well, there you go. We will call Ogre 2 deceased then. And Max, it is now your go.
This sucks, because the guy in front of me is basically prepared to get hit, but it seems like we're starting to push things off of the ledge if they get this far, so I don't want to necessarily waste an attack if we're going to be pushing them.
I got ranged attacks for the other guys too, so it's...
There's gust of winds and...
But I don't know if it's strong. Like, I don't know what the cantrip is. I don't know if
Thomas
it would
is looking up shove right now.
Yeah.
Combat.
Well, I have the
Thomas,
cantrip
combat,
and I
shove.
have a 2nd level spell that's even stronger.
Oh.
I mean, you've seen me do the full powered gust of wind, and it's...
That's true. I've seen you do it
it's
on the
potent.
boat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm thinking that maybe Buster's got that up his sleeve too. Max will shoot at one of the thar ogres.
Okay. Just as I looked it up right now while you were discussing shoving, and I just wanted to remind myself Crunch Squad-wise, shoving is actually technically an attack you can take in 5e, and it is specified an attack. So, if you decided to shove, attacks against him have advantage, so it would still be with advantage to try and shove this
But it's
ogre.
with strength, and I'm not very good at strength.
That is the caveat. Yeah. Anyway, so just wanted to declare that for everybody here and our listeners. Would you like to still shoot the ogres in the distance?
Yes, I don't get advantage though on them, so...
That is true. You don't get advantage, unfortunately. So, we will do the dumb one. Though you have a clear line of sight to the dumb one.
I will do the dumb
who did
one.
not take damage originally. So, go ahead and roll, sir.
Okay, here we go. And he's past 60 feet, so I can't use favored foe.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. That's correct.
That's going to be 22 to hit.
22 is a hit, sir. Go and roll damage.
I will use my last favored foe, though. I meant Slayer's Praise, the 60-foot one. Favored foe just says if you hit something. So I'll use my last favored foe of the day on him to give me a little bit more of a D4 on all my attacks now against him, including this one.
Excellent, sir.
That is, 15 to hit, or 15 damage.
15 damage. Woo,
Let's go.
That is some pretty good damage output there. Very good. Okay, sounds good. Max, that was your action, and you have a bonus in movement technically, right? Would you like to use those?
I don't think there's nothing really to do for this, and I don't want to move away. He'll just turn to his two compatriots who are next to him and be like, It would be appreciated if you could push this one off to the side as well.
Ignis, you hearing that? It is your turn.
It is.
You do have advantage.
I do have advantage. Yeah, I do have advantage. It's just not very good advantage. It's not very good.
Your strength or dex based?
Shoving is strength versus their strength or dex.
Yes.
And they get to choose.
Well, yeah. Are you a strength character or a dex character? I forgot.
She's a dex character.
Dex.
If you eye me, I could maybe help you on a check.
Oh, but I have Bardic Inspiration.
You have Bardic Inspiration.
And
You have Bardic Inspiration
and
and
I can do
advantage.
this.
Yeah, that's
okay,
not bad.
I can do at least one. Okay, I can try at least one. Okay, so Ignis coming up like a phoenix rising from the ashes of the pit. As she comes up with her bonus action, she uses her angelic sight to look at the golden strings of destiny that Rolterra has weaved throughout the world, and she finds another echo of herself. And so as she comes up and she pulls away from the cliffside, preparing to dive bomb this ogre and try and shove him off as well. In another timeline, Max did not ask for the ogre to be pushed. And so the echo veers off and goes 15 feet toward the other two.
Oh, so good.
So Ignis 1 will attempt a attack shove with her strength with advantage and Bardic Inspiration.
Here we go.
And hold on your roll, Thomas. I want to wait till I hear what she gets.
You got it.
If that's okay. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
That's a 24.
I don't feel like I
I'm
need to
really glad that was
intercede.
advantage and Bardic Inspiration.
Okay, I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll here. So with shoving, I think I'm gonna choose athletics to try and repel against this. So my +4 strength modifier. Here we go. So that's a 14 plus a 4 is 18.
Hey.
Yeah.
As Ignis pulls away from the cliffside and her echo veers off, she just comes running, using her wings to flap back behind her, just like supersonic, right into him. And he hears the boom about a second too late. And as he looks, she just gets him right in the middle center of his chest. And with all of her weight, she just boom and hits him directly away from her 5 feet off the edge. And then she's left flapping her wings, watching him fall.
I'd like to feel like when you pulled Destiny, that was the sonic boom. Like that's what caused you to have like both of you just and you were propelled towards. And as you impact against this ogre, Max and Buster, you get a full-on look of the shockwave that reverberates through all the blubber and fat of this ogre as he goes as he falls. The same fate of Ogre 2, who fell just last turn.
Dude, I'm imagining like when they hit the bottom, the first ogre who fell, he has like 1 hit point when he reaches the bottom. He's like, how'd I survive?
And he looks up and sees the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're able to just smack them off and just as they fall into the darkness. That is your bonus action and your action and some of your movement, I believe. Ignis, I think your turn's over, yes?
Yep, that's movement, bonus, and action.
It's pretty darn good. Buster, it's your go now. The 2 ogres left are 80 feet from you, roughly 80 feet or so.
All right. Firebolt's 120, so whichever one,
Yeah, it is.
whichever one I
Nice.
feel like the shadow Ignis is going towards, I'm gonna fire.
Yeah, so that's the one that Max shot against last time. So why don't you go ahead and roll?
All right, smoke and flame to smoke Irene. 19,
19's a hit, sir. Go and roll your damage.
and that is 4 damage.
4 damage. All right, sounds good. 4 damage just as Ignis's echo is heading towards this direction. That's your action. Any movement or bonus actions?
You know what? I'll move forward a little bit.
Okay, how
I'm
far?
getting confident. I'm gonna move to where the ogre was that fell, like the furthest
right.
point. Yeah.
So that's right next to Ignis, the real Ignis in this dimension or this reality. Okay.
Yeah. Let's show these witness ticks what it's like to mess with sea folk.
All right, here we go. We're going to go to the one who was just attacked with Firebolt and by Max. 40 feet of movement. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And another 40. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Not quite able to get to you, either of you guys, but your echo is a lot closer, Ignis, and will probably be able to attack next round. The last one, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. I'm going to roll to see stupidity here for the ogre to see if they're just going to bowl over this next
it's not
ogre.
my favorite foe.
Yeah. Max is like, not again! They are smart, so they are not going to try to bull over their friend and ally. They're going to try to back them up instead of just pushing them off the ledge. Ataraxia, we go to you, sir. It is your turn. You have the 2 ogres, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 is the closest one to where you currently are at, 35 away on the other side of the narrow bridge. What do you like to do?
Finally, we have 2 ogres who are close enough for me to fairy fire both of them at the same time.
Let's go.
So, fairy fire once more.
All right. Dex saves for both of them.
DC
First
14.
one. Okay, sounds good. And the second one, so it was a 12 on the die, which minus 1 is 11. The second one rolled a 3. Both are fairy fire.
Okay.
What does fairy fire look like, or what do you do for fairy fire, Ataraxia?
My fairy fire, tapping into sort of like my Fey origins, like reaching out a little bit into the first world, the realm of the Fey in Galarian, I call upon a bunch of little like sprites and little Fey creatures who kind of like slip out of the cracks between the planes and just start like pestering these guys.
And they like are pulling the ears, like their ears, and like one of them has a necklace, so it's like pulling its necklace and trying to like veer it off course and be like, oh my goodness. We sound like Elmo, apparently.
I have an entire group of like little sprites in a band. They're playing Nickelback.
Yes! One of them holds up a picture. Look at this graph! All right. Oh, man. Okay, fun. That's your action. Bonus action movement, Ataraxia.
Yeah, movement. I'm going to stay where I am, and I'm just going to pat Max right on the calf and say, hey, dude, I think you are finally going to get a chance to kill one of these instead of having them all just, like, fall to their doom. I'm going to give Max Bardic Inspiration.
All right. Sounds good. Ataraxia, having just given inspiration to Max, it's your go. Your favorite foe just being the closest enemy to you. What do you do?
I shoot my favorite foe. I bonus action Slayer Spray that guy.
Yep.
So I can get an extra D6. Roll with advantage because of Fairy Fire.
Yes.
And
And you have inspiration if you need to roll it as well.
I don't need that right now because I hit a 17 with that roll.
That's a hit.
So D10, D6, D4.
Dang, that's 3 dice. That's way good.
That's why I built him. Alrighty.
Monster Slayer indeed.
Yep. That is. Oh, those were terrible rolls, though. 7 damage.
Ooh,
I rolled 2 2s and a 1.
Oh, that is unfortunate. All right, 7 damage to him.
Yep.
This one
And-
is sticking through his shoulder. He rips it out and just is still charging towards you all. And I believe that is your turn, right, Max? Or
It
any movement?
is, with seeing my vulnerable rabbit compatriot just standing there in the middle of the bridge, Max will run and actually stand ahead of him.
All right, 15 feet forward to stand right in front of the Haragon
The
Buster.
camaraderie is so strong.
There we go. Grinning from ear to ear. Max, that's your turn. Ignis, it's your turn.
Max being a terrible people person, it's not necessarily like a I'll protect you. It's you're very weak, so I must stand in front
I
of you.
have to stand here in front of you.
You're so fragile.
You would be destroyed. Wonderful.
It's just nice to be cared for.
Yep.
It's nice to be cared for. Correct me if I'm wrong, Thomas. It looks like neither of those ogres are in a position to be able to be pushed off of the cliff. They look
That's
like they're
correct.
both over. Okay. I just wanted to make sure before I said what I was doing. So, the Echo will do a similar move where she flies out and then she'll unsheath her rapier and try and dive bomb him mosquito-like with her rapier.
With her weapon, eh? Is that the
With
one in
her
front that
weapon?
Max just attacked or the one in the back?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
sounds good.
And they're both fairy fired, right?
Yes, they are.
Ooh, that was pretty good. 19 plus 5 is 24,
24 is a hit.
which is a D. So I got 7 points of piercing damage, but because I'm celestial right now, I also add radiant damage equal to my level. So 7 plus 4 is 11 points of damage as you see her echo just and pass straight through him to the other side. But as she comes out through the other side, there is now a bleeding wound through his middle.
Excellent. Ooh, that is so good. And it's like this it looks almost ethereal because it's coming from another reality before it solidifies into just the massive amount of damage and wound. This creature is very bloodied right now.
Awesome.
So well done there. And that is your echo. I believe it's your turn now, right?
So I used my Unleash Incarnation, or actually, no, I didn't. As an Echo Knight, I can choose to let my Echo have my attack turn.
I see. Okay, sounds
So
good.
that's what I did. It's not my Unleash Incarnation. It's just I'm allowed to let her, I can attack from either position. So that was my attack and her movement, but that's going to be the whole turn.
Okay, so that's your whole turn. Excellent. Buster, it's now your go.
All right. I think, let me see if I understand this correctly. I think I could get behind both of them with 40 feet.
So yeah, let's take a look. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 is right here. Mm-hmm. 35, 40.
Yeah, but if I go the other direction, like if I go on the
5,
edge,
10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
Just like to the northwest.
that's where I want to go.
Absolutely. Northwest would be behind both of them.
That's where I want to go.
You would get attacks of opportunity for sure.
My hope would be I'd only get one attack of opportunity because
Yes,
the
you would.
last 10 feet I'm using a bonus action to do a bunny hop, which avoids provoking opportunity attacks.
That's correct. You'd only get the one, yes.
So I'll rabbit hop. So I'll move 30 feet to the first guy and then do a 10-foot jump behind the last guy.
Then the 30 is what provokes the attack of opportunity. So here we go. Just a straight attack against you, Buster. Ooh, only a 3, so a total of 9.
There you go.
Miss.
Wow.
Wow. And then you jump that final 10 feet to get behind both of them. Nice. I feel like Buster's like trying to dodge, weaving out in and out of these ogres as like their massive
Like a
hands
rabbit
are,
on the
trying
run.
to grab them. Yeah, exactly. And like just this lumbering like cinematic shot of like a little guy dodging through like the legs. Yeah.
And he pops a legume in his mouth, chomps on it, and says, "Winds carry you home, boys." And he's gonna use a second level spell, Gust of Wind.
Nice.
It is a strength saving throw, or else you get pushed 15 feet away from me.
Oh man.
It is a 60 feet long, 10 feet wide blast of air.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make the guy right in front of me have a 2 for the save.
Oh, dang. So he's just
Okay.
failing.
Yes.
A 2.
Yep.
So the guy right in front does fail just immediately. Like
Well, he gets pushed into his ally
that's it.
then.
So they fail. Yeah, he does get pushed into his ally. So
So no matter what the other guy rolls, he's getting hit by the guy behind him at least.
pretty much. Okay. And so then I'll roll for the other guy.
And I think it's actually a blast, so it's not a cone. It's
Yeah,
straight.
it's just-
yeah.
Okay, so I rolled a 4 on the dice for the other guy. And so as you, what did you say again, Buster? Gust of wind.
I said, "Let the wind carry you home, boys," and then shove my hand out like in a pushing motion.
As it bursts and your scarf, like actually like the wind emanates around your neck first and like kind of billows before it travels down your arm to your fist and just extends outwards to both of these ogres. And the ogres, the one behind is just knocked back immediately and tries to grab the ledge before just falling down to the same spot on top of the other 2 ogres. The other one, just for kicks and giggles, I rolled on the d20 just to see what they would have got and rolled a natural 1. And so your 3 helped him a little bit, but not enough to where he's like, he feels like this divine inspiration to be like,
It was
maybe
fated.
I should.
It was
Nope.
destined.
Nope. And just
Altera
as
has
he looks at
spoken.
you, the last gust of wind just hits him in his belly, reverberates as well like a shockwave before he drops his club. His like necklace flies off of him and breaks before he's just rocketed through your image, your Echo Knight, Ignis, and just almost like makes it completely across the ravine before hitting the other side of the wall and just clattering down like a boulder falling down a long, just sloping mountainside.
And I look directly at Max after that, like, who needs protecting now, you know?
You're still very vulnerable.
I once again pat Max on the calf and say, maybe next time.
Savage.
And so
Savage.
with that, Ignis landing on the bridge before her wings dissipate, and all of you looking at downwards, and you can't make out the 4 ogres, but just imagining them piled on top of each other and looking at each other. At a job well done. That is where we're going to end this week's episode of I Cast Fireball.
Look at that teamwork.
Look at us.
This felt
Teamwork.
so good.
Did anybody take any
There was
damage?
no damage taken.
Max
no,
did.
I didn't because of the
No.
Didn't you?
because of the silvery
Silvery
barbs.
Because of every time we
Twice.
you're right.
Oh my
We just
God.
knocked them all
We're
off the
jamming,
bridge
guys.
and didn't take any
Yeah.
This is how,
damage.
listen, for listeners, this is how we took over the ship. I'm saying, like, this is the vibe.
Yep.
They didn't hear, but yeah, this is what it's like. The 4 of us meshing.
We didn't record that episode, but that's kind of what happened.
Oh my gosh. I'm looking at okay, hold on. I'm looking at
Our calculator.
the encounter builder. Okay? I'm looking at the encounter builder. That was a deadly encounter, according to the CR encounter level. 4 ogres at their level, at each of you being a 4th level character. That was
Feels
supposed
good.
to be quote quote deadly and not a scratch on you. Well done.
Level up? Nope.
Inspiration for all of you.
Let's go.
Only because we had the pit. Like
I mean,
that
the
would have
pit
been
was
very
really the
different if
saver
we
right
had to
there.
like chip away.
It was
at
wise of
them.
us to wait for them to come to us, though. That
Very
was-
true. But
Yes.
you could have just been like, we're just going to ignore the pit. Absolutely. But inspiration to everybody. That was wonderful. I can't wait to see how else you are going to make encounters interesting and new and continue to bully me for sessions to come. So, as always, Ned, Jacob, Josh, and Mickey, thank you so much for joining as players, and listeners, thank you for joining us on this first epic land-based encounter here with these ogres. If you like like what we're doing, please leave us a 5-star review on the podcast of your choice. It helps get us into other people's recommended feeds. We have been seeing a surprising amount of new listeners come for season 2, a ton, and we've been getting the most downloads we've ever had since we started way back in 2021. Day 1 downloads as well, which is mind-blowing to see, and it's nice to see how our first episode of season 1 is also getting a ton of downloads as well in conjunction with season 2. So it is. So listeners, thank you so much for making that happen and for getting the word, setting this podcast on fire. If you want to reach out to us, we always have our social medias at icastfireball20 we have our email, icastfireball2020@gmail.com. We have Facebook, we've got YouTube, we've got X, but mostly like Instagram as well, at icastfireball20. And of course, our Patreon exclusive Discord channel where you can chat with us every single day. And that's including Josh here, and where you can get sneak peeks and tips. Right now, we're doing some like fun mechanic talk in our DM only channel, which only me and Ned have access to currently, where we're kind of like doing some ideas about bennies and things like that. We have a little bit of Dragon Ball Z talk in there. It's really fun. Anyway, go take a look at that, see if there's a tier that works for you so we can interact with you, the fans. Want to give a quick shout out to our sister podcast, Improv Tabletop. They are amazing. They have fun adventures. I am biased because I am in a lot of those fun adventures, like Pride and Prejudice and Puppets, where it is just Muppets and Pride and Prejudice. It's a blast. Go take a gander, and don't forget to leave them a 5-star review. Also, Titans of Altera. If you're here, you probably came from Titans of Altera, but if somehow you got here not through Sneak Attack and not through Titans of Altera, boy howdy, you have some amazing content to go binge on Josh's podcast, both of his podcasts that he had. So go give them a listen. Lastly, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends and fellow wacky adventurers. But until next time, I'm Thomas, your DM, and around the table we have
Lieutenant Ignis Halcone,
Maximus Shans,
Ataraxia Kalian,
And Buster Bilgewater.
Let's keep that fire going, everybody, and we'll see you all next time.